Hi, everyone. Welcome to Aurora Water's quick webinar on water conservation basics for multifamily and HOA properties. My name is Diana Denwood. I'm a water conservation supervisor, and I'm joined by my colleague Brendan Smith, who is a water conservation specialist.
Hello, everyone.
All right, so the first thing that we're going to talk today are just what are the basics of conservation? Why should we care about conservation, and why should we take the time to conserve water in our community? Well, the most obvious first thing is it's going to lower your water bills. It's also going to hopefully minimize the impact of future rate increases. There will be less seasonal fluctuation between your indoor and your outdoor watering seasons. It would decrease any potential drought surcharges that hopefully don't happen for many, many years to come. And it also helps promote resilience in terms of our water supply in our community. And then in terms of our water system, that is Aurora's water system, we have more stable storage when people are finding and fixing leaks and decreasing water waste. And then again, there's a decreased potential for drought restrictions and surcharges because we're keeping more water in our reservoirs. So a little bit more of a basic looking at your water bill. There's a lot of information on there. So let's talk about what you are seeing on your water bill. First is the allocation. That is the center red arrow. An allocation is given to every single commercial or multifamily meter. It's the amount of water an account is expected to use over the course of a year based on several things. If it is a brand new irrigation only account, that allocation is based on the type of landscaping that meter serves and its square footage of the landscape that is. For new commercial or multifamily accounts, it's based on simply the size of the meter. So essentially, what kind of uses and how many people that meter serves. If you are a slightly older property, so any meter that was installed building built before 2013, the allocation is actually just a running average. It's an average of the previous 2 years' usage at that meter. Now, why does it matter? Well, your billing allocation, all of your usage up to that billing allocation, which again is an annual amount of water, is charged tier 1 rate. So that's the lowest water rate. Any usage above and beyond the allocation, let's say you hit your allocation in November, well then for the following month for your December bill, that water usage is charged at the tier 2 rate, which is a little bit higher. Something else I want to point out is the winter quarterly average. You will see that's relevant to your sewer usage charge. And that sewer rate is based on winter quarterly average, which is an average of the account's January, February, and March bills. So your winter average usage, which represents indoor only usage. None of us have or should have any irrigation over the winter time. That would be bad for your system. The winter quarterly average also is recalculated annually. And it's important in terms of water conservation because the less water is used indoors on your property, the less your sewer costs will be because that winter amount, it follows you through the rest of the year on that sewer charge. And now we will move on to indoor water usage, water conservation best practices. One of the main ones, it really comes down to toilets, monitoring toilets for leaks and upgrading your toilets when they are older and using a higher gallon per flush amount. Even without a leaking toilet, you can save thousands of gallons of water a year by upgrading to high efficiency toilets. And in our book, that's a 0.8 gallon per flush is our target efficiency level. We also do provide a $100 rebate if you're replacing a 1.6 or more gallon per flush toilet with a 0.8, $100 per toilet. For single family homes, you can get up to 2 toilets rebated, and for condos as well. So 2 toilets per home. If you are not interested in changing out your toilet, it's very important, at least, well, even if you have changed out your toilet, to always check for leaks. Leaks can often be very quiet or silent, so you check them with a dye tablet at the very least once a year. Leaks never get better on their own, they only get worse. Here's a quick indoor success story that we had an experience with Greensview Apartments, and they have allowed us to use their name and their quotes. We did a toilet replacement project at that apartment complex. There were 468 units with a lot of original toilets, so that meant 3.5 gallon per flush or higher. We worked with them to replace 736 toilets, gave them over $88,000 in rebate assistance, and they were able to reduce their usage by 10 million gallons a year. They said that one of the keys to a project of this size was that they were an apartment complex, and so they had the access and the authority to replace those toilets, which can be a bit of a challenge for some of our HOA friends. Moving along to our low-income water efficiency program, while the communities themselves are not able to partake in this program, your residents are if they are owner-occupied units, and it's something that we wish more people took advantage of us. So please let your residents know that we have this income qualified program where we will come out and uh, for no cost, install up to 2 toilets, 2 shower heads, and 3 aerators, totally free. We work with Mile High Youth Corps. It's a great program. We just want more people to know about it so that we can save water for some of the people that could use the bill savings the most. For our indoor water assessments, this program has changed a little bit over time. So we provide free instruction and dye tabs to property staff and to teach you how to conduct indoor water assessments and leak investigations on your own. We used to provide these across the board for free with our staff, but it's no longer feasible for us to do so unless there is a critical water leak, and that is decided on a case-by-case basis. So just to recap, for the most part, we give you the tools and the training to conduct your own assessments, but in a critical situation, we will consider whether we need to take extra measures to send staff out to your property and help you with that investigation. Here is a success story about tracking down some major leaks at a townhome complex. There were 2 different meters that were showing much higher than average usage. You can see on this graph how that average usage at the meter A, the blue line, and meter B, the red lines, increased so much over the course of about a year. And they wasted so much water. Unfortunately, the townhome property hadn't noticed that their bills were rising so quickly over time. When it came to our attention, we discovered that between the 2 meters, they were using about 550,000 gallons more than their previous average use. First, what we did was reach out to the property. They hadn't known about it, and unfortunately, they didn't have any kind of mapping of their existing water infrastructure. So our staff mapped out the units that were tied to each affected meter, and um, uh, we prompted the association to reach out to as many residents as possible to get indoor water assessments. We worked with the maintenance team hand in hand to do those assessments. Unfortunately, per usual, we couldn't get to all of the units. Thankfully, we were able to get into several, and one of them, we were lucky it had one of the leaks in the crawl space, and that's the picture on the left there. There was this huge puddle. The customer had heard some sounds in the past of water leaking. They had reached out to their property manager, but didn't get a response, so they figured it wasn't a big deal. Lo and behold, there was a small pond forming in their crawl space that was bad for the HOA, and it was probably bad for the building as well. So it took us several more weeks we weren't finding a lot of success. We weren't having people call us back. So to get higher participation from the rest of the units so we could find this other water leak, the property manager ended up going door to door. And that's how the second crawl space leak, the picture that you can see here on the right, again, another pond, because people just aren't entering their crawl spaces frequently enough. Obviously, it had been a year, and but finally we were able to find it and put an end to those leaks, and the HOA worked with the homeowners to make sure those got repaired quickly. So there's some major lessons learned here that we want to share with you, and that is before a leak happens, make sure someone's paying attention to your monthly bills and see if there are any big changes, and especially big changes over time. Make sure you've established a contact person for leaks. Ask owners to check their spaces for leaks. With our advanced metering infrastructure, which Brennan will talk about in a bit, set leak alerts with Eye on Water, and consider adding emergency access powers into your CCRs so that you can get into units and check for these critical water leak situations. And then when a leak happens, meet up with all the parties, do everything in your power to contact all of the unit residents, email, phone, knock on doors. Sometimes knocking on doors is the last used but best method. Repair leaks immediately and then confirm that that leak is resolved by using your Eye on Water capabilities. So now I'm going to turn it over to Brendan to talk to you all about outdoor water use.
Great. Thanks, Diana. Let's move into outdoor water use, my favorite. Before we jump into some of our outdoor water focused programs, let's discuss some outdoor efficiency best practices to keep in mind as we move closer to irrigation season. Prioritizing your outdoor efficiency pays dividends over the course of an irrigation season, and here are a couple of best practices. One is document property and irrigation details. Start from a whole system perspective. Identify and document your system, where are your zones, controllers, valve boxes, and determine what equipment serves what area. Document these by location on a map and make sure that map is readily available to your team and your landscaper. Scheduling. Ensure your property is watering according to Aurora's water landscape watering rules for 2024. These rules and recommendations are based on month and equipment and are on our website. Having a smart controller or manually adjusting water times based on equipment, weather, plant type, and sun exposure is crucial to having an efficient irrigation system. Number 3 is inspect your system regularly. Make sure your irrigation contractor, landscaper, or staff are testing the system and inspecting for issues at least a couple times a year. Try to build this into your irrigation contract or hire an irrigation auditor. Number 4, repair and maintain. Use the results from those inspections to regularly make repairs and maintain the system. Letting even one broken head leak for an entire irrigation season can waste thousands of gallons of water. Repair and replace with high efficiency irrigation equipment. Number 5, rethink landscape needs. Is your turf being used or is it simply aesthetic? Think about areas that get low foot traffic and require large amounts of water to irrigate. These may be right for turf replacement through our GRIP program, and we'll discuss that later. All right, don't forget about our landscape watering rules. We are on permanent water conservation regulations, so you can water no more than 3 days per week. From May to September 30th, watering is not permitted between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., so keep that in mind. Water waste is not permitted, and this includes spraying water onto hard surfaces, excessive runoff, and letting that broken sprinkler system equipment go unfixed. Visit our auroragov.org/watering times for those updated watering time recommendations during the summer. Let's move on to our next and go into some program talk here. Outdoor water assessments. They are offered from early June to September. This is a really great first step for getting understanding of the state of your irrigation system, what needs to be addressed, what's the priorities. Large properties like your apartment complex, HOA common spaces, or townhomes are eligible for a 3-hour assessment at no cost. The post-assessment report includes a property map, pictures of the issues, and a breakdown of inefficiencies found. We also offer free 1-hour single-family residential outdoor water assessments, so get the word out to your single-family residential community on our free OWAs. We do provide information for newsletters and HOA communications so your residents can get signed up for one. Rebates to incentivize efficiency upgrades for our sprinkler systems and make those repairs and upgrades a breeze. We do offer rebates on high efficiency equipment. Our rebate offerings are very generous and cover a majority, if not all, of the purchase price for many components, which is great. Rebates are offered on smart controllers, rain sensors, efficient sprinkler heads and nozzles, and spray to drip conversion kits. Keep in mind that irrigation components are eligible for a total maximum rebate of about $15,000, so consider an investment in your irrigation system this season. If you're already planning to upgrade that efficiency or that efficient equipment, don't forget to apply for a rebate. It can really make a difference there. All right, our large property watering variance program, you may have already heard of this or been signed up. With a 3-day per week watering window can really be difficult to efficiently irrigate those large properties. Think properties over 20,000 square feet of landscape, like HOA common spaces, they can enroll in our variance program. Enrollment allows a property to run irrigation 7 days a week as long as each zone is still scheduled on only 2 days. In exchange, properties must demonstrate efficient use by not exceeding a weather adjusted recommended volume that's customized to their size and type of their landscape. So, really, you're getting a much larger watering window in exchange for demonstrating that efficient use and demonstrating progress to improve your irrigation efficiency. All right, GRIP, Grass Replacement Incentive Program. Compared to non-native turf grasses like Kentucky bluegrass, water-wise landscapes are attractive. They're lower maintenance landscapes. They save water, provide wildlife habitat, and withstand drought. You may have seen an article or a news story on turf replacement. It's a very hot topic right now in Colorado. Rural Water Conservation is a leader in turf replacement. Our GRIP program offers a rebate on converting your turf to water-wise landscape that uses less water. Replacing the turf with landscaping and plants better suited to our climate and our location can provide high water savings, decrease those maintenance costs, and beautify the area. All right, getting your grip going. The grip rebate for HOAs and multifamily properties is customizable to your project and your project scope. There is no defined maximum rebate. Rather, you'll work with our staff to determine the appropriate amount based on the project cost. Really recommend visiting the auroragov.org/grip website to view our large property manual. That will have all the information you need to get started. Now is really a great time to start planning a grip project. The manual will give you a run down of requirements, the process of grip, and helpful tips. If you're interested in participating in grip, email Morgan Hopkins Crawley at mhopkins@auroragov.org to discuss that project scope before applying. All right, let's do a quick review of a success story an HOA had by using our smart controller rebate. Towns Reach Metro District worked with our team to complete a rebate for smart controllers. They installed upwards of 30 to 40 smart controllers across the HOA common space in 2020, replacing the standard controllers that were already there. Allowing the smart control to handle the adjustments for scheduling, timing, and making decisions based on weather data has allowed Talon's Reach to see some very large water savings covering over 2 million square feet of landscape. As you can see on that graph, the annual savings per year is approximately 17.5 million gallons. Smart controllers do the hard work for you. They really allow for water savings to be achieved much easier than maybe having someone go out changing those controllers weekly or monthly based on the weather. Some of the savings that weren't paying in water bills were invested back into their system. So it's kind of that feedback loop where they have this extra money from saving water, investing it back in your irrigation system, making repairs and improving efficiencies, able to save even more water through that and get that money back so they can use it for water efficiency or anything else they wanted to do. No matter the size of your HOA or multifamily property, if you haven't made that jump to smart controllers, I'd highly recommend it, especially through our rebate equipment costs are minimal. All right, getting the word out. We can help. We can provide information and marketing materials for our programs directly to you. This includes articles and information for news article or newsletters, whether they're through email or physical. Also, low income and toilet rebate postcards, flyers, to tape on doors, clubhouse common areas, bulletin boards. You really know how best to market things and get things moving in your HOA. So let us know how well we can help in that situation. Pools. Something that can be easily forgotten and actually waste a lot of water. Pools can be a source of water waste through evaporation, leaks, valve issues, if it's auto-filling and having problems with that. We really recommend having an inspection done at least annually for your pool, using a pool cover, and monitoring those pool levels and water use to determine if a leak is active. So don't forget about your pools. All right, next we're going to go into some new and exciting developments in conservation. This is my favorite here, advanced metering infrastructure, AMI for short. It is a mouthful, but as a water nerd, it is super exciting, and I think you'll be excited about it as well. Aurora Water has partnered with Badger Meter to replace all 90,000 meters in Aurora with new advanced meters. This project started in 2019 and should be wrapping up within about a year. So what exactly is an advanced meter? Well, traditional meters are read through a drive-by reading by Aurora water staff, usually about once a month. So you'll get that on your bill and know how much water you're using. Problem with that is you might not know if there's a major increase or a leak until a month later. Advanced AMI meters can remotely transmit your water usage data multiple times per day. Yes, that's per day, not per month. You can view your usage down about every 15 minutes, which is really fascinating. The best part about this is there's a customer portal. It's called Ion Water. So you have access to this water usage data at your fingertips. Ion Water is really a powerful tool, can be used via an app or a web page. Signing up is very easy, and multiple accounts can be linked to one account. Perfect for those properties with multiple water accounts from anything from irrigation to clubhouses to multifamily residential. You can add all of them on under one account. If you visit auroragov.org/meters, you can learn more about this meter replacement program and auroragov.org/ionwater for more information and how to sign up for your account. So taking advantage of AMI, really great features here. Setting a leak alert is really simple. It ensures those leaks don't go unnoticed for months on end and you see those high bills from a leak. This really improves your leak response time. Really decide with your HOA team or property team what email should be used for that leak alert. What's the leak protocol once you do receive that alert? All properties will be a little bit different. A 4-unit duplex will have much different usage patterns than a 100-unit complex. Large properties with more units per meter will need a higher threshold if that continuous usage every day of every hour is expected. As we approach irrigation season, if your irrigation accounts currently have an advanced meter installed, using Ion Water to monitor them for usage patterns and leaks can be a lifesaver during the summer and keep those water bills from rising. And ensuring that your watering is following our landscape watering rules for 2024. So great features there. Right. I'm going to turn it over to Diana here to talk about some Colorado law and water-wise landscaping.
Okay, so most of you probably know that back in 2013, the state of Colorado passed a law that basically supported and maybe even promoted xeriscaping, aka water-wise landscaping. So it stated that Colorado communities, so covenant controlled communities, HOAs, cannot prohibit water-wide landscapes, but they can enforce designs and standards. They also cannot require turf grass. So fast forward 10 years to just last year, and there's an exciting follow-up to this support of water-wise landscaping. And it states, it's the Senate Bill 23-178, and it states that furthermore, HOAs can't prohibit artificial grass in backyards. They cannot require hardscape on more than 20% of the landscape area. They also cannot prohibit vegetable gardens, which many people don't realize that when done with water conservation measures, vegetable gardens can use less water than cool season turf grass. Also, HOAs must provide at least 3 water-wise design options. So this is pretty new information. A lot of you may not know about this, but these are the new state laws. Thankfully, Aurora Water can help, and we are ready with these 2 tools for you. So we do have a template for water-wise regulations or guidelines for HOAs, and it's got a lot of options in there. It all harkens back to official City of Aurora code, so it's a great place to start. So I'd be happy to send that to you. And then we have a bunch of designs that we've already created according to several themes. I believe we have 9 themed designs, and you're free to use those in any way you wish. Also, if you choose to have your own designs made for your specific aesthetic for your community, then we are happy to review those designs so that they meet City of Aurora code and our standards for waterwise landscapes in particular. So those are some ways that we're able to help you catch up with these new bills that are on the books. Okay, the last thing that we want to mention to you is that Brendan and I have worked together to create a water management checklist for communities like yours. So it's a great way to get started and bring your water management up to date with conservation in mind. So some of the components in there is making sure that you are mapping the water infrastructure, your indoor and outdoor water infrastructure, like where are your meters, where are your outdoor faucets or spigots, what about rain sensors, where are your backflow preventers, those kinds of things. You can also conduct an inventory to get an idea of areas where efficiency upgrades may be needed, and also some things to think about for planning for water-related emergencies. So we have got a bunch of best practices. We have tools for you. If you're interested in one of our programs and want to learn more, please visit us at auroragov.org/conservation. If you have questions about anything we've mentioned, or you want one of the tools that we've created for you, please email us at conservation@auroragov.org. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Hope you learned something today, and please be in touch soon.
Thanks, everyone.